So now we've gone through the low and mid ticket, let's go into the high ticket product offering. Now, this is one where a lot of people get really excited about because they hear it's a high amount of money per week, anywhere from $100 to $400 a week. So if you get 5 clients at $400 a week, you've got a 6-figure business. Not necessarily so. Most of the things with high ticket item is they come with a really high return of time spent with that client to get them a good result. Now, this means a couple of things. The first thing is that it means you're generally going to get really, really good results from these clients, which you can then use to market your business as social proof, which is the best form of marketing still today and for the end of time. It's going to be the best way to demonstrate how good you are at what you do. The second problem that comes with it is the fact that it does have a time span on it. So when people achieve their goals, they generally don't need that level of service anymore. What it does provide the opportunity to is to downsell that person into your mid-tier item or your low ticket item, depending on what they want to achieve, because they already trust you, they already like you, and they've achieved a life-changing result with you. So when you have that, you can basically keep these clients for a very, very long time. My longest lasting client, who I originally brought on a high ticket personal training contract, is still with me 20 years later. So you can create a high degree of loyalty, brand support, and a referral machine for your business from your high ticket coaching. So it becomes something that's very useful to implement in your business. The key things I want to go over today are what the components of it are and how much of it you should actually do. Because if you do too much of it, you're going to be in the exact same situation as most one-on-one trainers on the gym floor, trading time for money and getting stuck in a position where you can't scale your business any higher because you're stuck working in the business rather than working on the business, to use a very overutilized but very true cliche. So with a high ticket item, the difference is all the problems that you've identified at the beginning for your particular niche, you're going to be going through and solving them in a one-on-one fashion with that particular client. So you're going to be coaching them on lifestyle. You're going to be coaching them on nutrition. You're going to be taking them through training. You're going to be taking them through their emotional health. You're going to be dealing with so many different things and actually giving them tasks, programs, and goals to achieve every single week to help them achieve their particular results. An example of this is someone who is working too much. You may be working with corporate people, with someone who can't really switch off. You'll be giving them different tasks such as mindfulness, box breathing, taking different supplemental protocols depending on your scope of practice, and a number of other different tools to solve the problems that that person has to improve their quality of life and get them the result that they paid you for. So generally, how I recommend most people run their high ticket program is in the following 2 ways. To get the client to have their program exactly like the mid-tier product and automated like the low-tier product. Get all the onboarding done, get the programming done, do a weekly check-in with the client. The difference is in the weekly check-in, you're actually going to be interacting and engaging with that client on a phone call, Zoom call, or face-to-face, depending on location. So what this does, it does mean that you're going to be spending more time, but you're going to be able to solve that client's particular issues in that session and give them objectives and things to achieve over the next week. This is really, really powerful because it allows you to give the client exactly what they need in the manner that they need, and also have that interaction and input from that client to get a client-centered approach to achieve that goal. I've seen trainers get incredible results using this model, working with a whole bunch of different niches, and what it does, it allows them to use that as their social proof. Now, I've harped on this about this for a bit because it is that important. The more we can demonstrate how good we are at what we do, the more people are going to seek us out as subject matter experts. When we have that, we get far less objections. Anyone who's ever had a surgery, when you go and speak to the surgeon and they say whatever amount it is, no one ever comes up with the price objection because they're perceived as the expert and you need to have that problem solved. We want to treat ourselves in the same way so our clients perceive us as that subject matter expert, and they'll pay us what we charge to solve their particular problem. This is the best way to grow a sustainable business because you're not always reaching out, people are reaching in to get your service. The other thing that you need to do in a high ticket product is become available. So it's not just that 1 hour a week. You need to be able to communicate to that client on a more frequent basis because small things may come up that they need your help and support with, and they're generally paying for that availability. So messaging through the Kahuna's app is the best way to do this because if a client has a question and it's a little bit longer, you can send them a voice recording or a video recording on how to solve their particular problem. The one thing I would make sure that you do at the beginning of the client engagement process is put some rules and expectations on it, i.e. hours that you can be contacted, because you don't want to be picking up the phone at 3 a.m. in the morning solving someone's particular problems. So I don't recommend giving your private phone number. Use the services in the app to get the best outcomes for yourself and your business. When you're doing the high ticket program as well, when you position it to the client, always position it as a finite time, because this allows people to recognize that the problem is going to be solved in a particular period of time. You can change this, of course, based on the client's feedback and based on their results, but if people know that, they know that that's their financial obligation for that period of time, so that objection is basically met straight up. Now, the high ticket item also gives you the opportunity to become better with working with your niche. You learn more about the problems that they have, and this gives you the material to create a better product for your clients, but also better social media and organic marketing material, because all marketing material needs to alert people to the fact that you're the person that can solve their particular problem. In terms of how many high ticket clients that you work with, it really depends on you, but I recommend generally no more between 5 and 10. They can be quite draining in terms of the actual investment of energy into those particular sessions and the investment of energy outside those sessions, answering texts and phone calls and other things that those clients may need to achieve their results. You want to make sure that you don't have too many and you don't become dependent on them as your primary income source. Because the problem with that is, if they do become your primary income source, what happens if 4 finish up? A huge percentage of your income drops that particular week really, really quickly. And this happens a lot with one-on-one trainers in the commercial gyms. They generally just do one-on-one sessions, and the client can't afford it anymore, or they're going somewhere, they're moving away, or a holiday. Their income drops rapidly with no safety net underneath to ensure they keep building continuous income. So if we make the majority of our business mid-ticket items, use low-ticket items to funnel people up, and have a selection of 5 to 10 high-ticket clients, it allows us to have a really solid, sustainable business, and then also build a waiting list for our high-ticket item. If you get to that point, we have people wanting to come on board for that, it becomes so easy to sell your mid-tier item because people are desperate to work with you. You've got a business then that will basically take care of itself and is incredibly sustainable. So now we've gone through all 3 product tiers. Join me in the last video so we can go through exactly what we need to do to get started.